Yes, we are.
All right. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Welcome to the July 20th, 2015 meeting for the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. My name is Kevin Cook. I serve as the chair, also representing District 2. Joining me today is Commissioner Shelley Bueller, representing District 1. Good morning. And Commissioner Bob Archer, representing District 3. Good morning.
Good morning.
Madam Clerk, I know that we have a light agenda, but let's go ahead and get started.
First item is item 3, consent agenda.
Are there any questions or comments regarding the consent?
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
A second.
Motion made by Commissioner Archer to approve the consent agenda, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. All opposed? That passes 3-0. Next item.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk, number 1, consider all voucher payments.
The vouchers are totaling $1,139,989.67. Of those, Parks and Recreation, $91,571.90. The detention facility with Airmark taking up the bulk of that, $121,450.88. And then payroll is our highest, $544,624. I have no questions. Move approval.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Bueller for approval, seconded by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. All opposed? That passes 3-0. Next item.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I'll make a motion to approve the correction orders.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Next item.
Item B, emergency management. Number 1, consider appointment of Fire Marshal Mike Martin to the Ambulance Advisory Board to fill a position vacated by Topeka Fire Training Chief Jack Colley with a term of 8/1/2015 to 6/11/2017.
Your Honor, Commissioners, I was contacted by both Nelson and Dusty. They were not able to be here for the meeting. This is a reappointment, or not a reappointment, but a change in the unexpired term. Training Chief Colley had stepped down later this fall, and to appoint in his place, Mike Martin. So I'll make a motion to approve that appointment.
A second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Next item.
Item C, Parks and Recreation. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of Contract C 275-2015 with CBS integration for monitoring of an alarm system at the Juan Poppy Abbott Community Center at a fee of $22.95 per month.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Knight, Parks and Recreation. This is an extension of our department-wide contract with CBS Integration to install and monitor an alarm. The reason we're adding that here is through contract negotiations with the Boys and Girls Club. One of those stipulations was that the county would make this available to them. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Any discussion regarding this item?
Move to approve the contract.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Archer to approve the contract, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Next item.
Item D, Audit Finance. Number 1, update on expenditures and revenues.
All right, Betty, while you're getting this set up, as Mr. Rensher would remind us, the shortest meeting is 7 minutes, so you're going to need to stretch this out a little bit.
Okay.
This will take longer than 7 minutes.
Okay. Betty Greiner, Director of Administrative Services, here with the financial overview for June 30th. And I will start on the revenue side and then work on to the expenditure side. As you can see here, our year-to-date revenues, we've received $86,294,915 compared to our budget of $84,980,443. And this time, through June 30th of last year, we had received $86,294,915. $90,910. And I'll go through each category individually, but this chart just shows, this is our year-to-date column, our year-to-date budget, and our prior year-to-date. The different colors show how much of that revenue was received by these different categories. And these are the categories that we will go into later. As you can see, the majority is from property tax. The red is other taxes, followed by the green, which is property-related fees, the purple, which is charges for services, and then on the top is miscellaneous revenue. So you can tell by this that year-to-date, we are $1,314,000 over budget, and we've received $204,000 over last year through June. And like I say, I'll go through the variances by category. So our first category is property tax revenue. You can see we've received $71,245,000 through June 30th, compared to what I had budgeted of $70,732,000. That is a variance of $512,000 on the positive side. And that is really because our delinquent taxes have decreased again this year. And just on that note, I'll give you a little information that I received from the clerk's office. Each year at the end of June, we get information from the county clerk's office on our delinquent rates. And in the for the year of, well, let me see, for the year of 2014, what we would have received in 2014, which was taxes based on 2013, the delinquency rate was 2.545%. Now, for what we receive in 2015, is that right? Yeah. No, I'm sorry, I'm getting confused here. It'd be a year back. Anyway, it went from 2.54% to 1.41%. So it just shows you how the delinquency rate went down from one year to the next. Now, the interesting part, though, is the special assessments went the other way. It went from 4.844% to 8.24%. So it doesn't seem, I mean, you know, logically you would think that they would go the same way, but in this case they did not. So, but that explains why our property tax income is up again. You know, when we were budgeting, I did allocate or make some adjustment for the decreasing delinquency rate, but not quite as much as we actually have seen. Going on to the next category of other taxes, we've received $7,295,000. Our budget was $6,806,000. And then last year we had received $6,564,000. And on that, really the variance, the positive variance of $489,000 is really from two categories. $400,000 of that is from motor vehicle. If you will remember, we receive an estimate from the state on motor vehicle taxes. In 2014, that was underestimated by quite a bit. In 2015, it is closer, but it still was underestimated. Now, that may be from, you know, new vehicles or whatever changes, but $400,000 of that is from motor vehicles. $85,000 is from K-covers, which is for commercial vehicles. The way that is paid it changed, and so it was really kind of an estimate on how much we were going to receive on that. And year to date, we've received $85,000 additional, or more than budgeted on that one. Okay, our next category is property-related fees. We've received $1,250,000 compared to a budget of $1,080,000. 1,091,000. And this, it's a variance of a positive 159,000. And if you'll remember, last month in this category, we were under budget by, let's see, about 30,000, I think it was. This month, we are over budget on mortgage registration fees by 100,000. So it just shows you that, you know, timing makes all the difference in this. It's just when those mortgages are filed, and you know, that you can try to anticipate it, you can, you know, estimate it, but the timing difference can really make a difference in that. So 100,000 of that positive variance is from mortgage registration fees, and 50,000 is from filing fees. Okay, if we go on to charges for services, we've received $2,557,000 compared to what I had budgeted at $2,657,000. So that is, we're actually 99,000 under budget on that, or almost 100,000 under budget. That is really all attributable to Parks and Rec, that their fees are down, and you know, probably weather related. You know, we all know how wet our spring and summer has been, and you will see that on the expense side also. When we get to the expense side, you'll see that reflected also. Okay, and in our other revenue category, we've received $3,945,000 compared to a budget of $3,693,000, so a positive variance of $252,000. That is from mainly three sources. The largest is tax, penalty, and interest. We are $133,000 over what I had estimated for penalty and interest on back taxes, and there again, that kind of goes along with the decrease in the delinquent taxes and people being able to pay their prior year taxes. 73,000. We've received 73,000 in our mortgage bond program fees that we receive on that, which we never know exactly how much that's going to be. And then the rest of it was just in other items across the departments. What I would point out here, though, if you look at where we were last year through the end of June, we had received $5,470,000. So that is a variance of $1,524,000 decrease. That's made up of the Parks and Rec merger. We have received, as scheduled, $500,000 less on the Parks and Rec merger this year. This time last year, we had also received $475,000 from defeasance income, and then we had received a clawback of $512,000. So that really makes up that difference there. Okay, if we go on, this just shows year-to-date revenue, that 83% of our revenue we receive from property taxes. 8% comes from other taxes. Property-related fees is 1%. Charges for services is 3%, and miscellaneous revenue is 5%. Okay, if we go on to the expenditure side, our year-to-date expenditures through June 30th totals $43,459,382 compared to our budget of $44,501,458. And our prior year through June 30 was $43,994,595. There again, this chart shows by category how much is in each of these categories. The blue being public safety, the red public health, the green administrative services, the purple public works, the blue is Parks and Rec, and that also includes Expo Center, and then the orange on the top is debt service. So you can really see how those all kind of relate together. And there again, I will go through each category. But we show a positive, we show that we have underspent our budget in total by $1,042,077. And we are under last year by $535,213. And I'll go through those category by category. Our first one is public safety expenditures. You can see that we have spent $19,384,000 compared to our budget of $20,028,000. That is a variance of $644,000. That is mainly made up of two different categories. The largest variance is from the Sheriff's Department. They are under budget by $463,000. In talking with them and looking at their different line items, that is mainly from vacancies in the department, and then medical expenses that we had budgeted for them that they have not had to spend. I almost hate to say this, I don't want to jinx anything. But we had budgeted extra money for them with the new law changes that they might have additional medical costs that they would have to incur. So far this year, that has not, they have not had to use those medical funds. Now, you know, that could change tomorrow, and we just don't know. I mean, it is budgeted there, and we need it to be budgeted. We needed it to be there, but like I say, on a positive note, they have not had to use that yet. The DOC medical is also under budget by $126,000. There again, that could change tomorrow also. You know, as we know, medical costs can go spike at any time. Something can hit at any time. But those are the two areas in that public safety area where we are under budget. The public health expenditures, we've spent $6,087,000 compared to a budget of $6,058,000. So, you know, $28,000 variance, so we are right on budget with that. Administrative services, we've spent $5,615,000 compared to $5,640,000 budgeted. So there again, it's a variance of $25,000, so we are right on budget there also. Public Works, as we've spent $3,998,000 compared to $4,050,000, variance of $51,000, so there again, right on budget. The next one is Parks, Rec, and Expo Center. We have spent $7,234,000 compared to a budget of $7,584,000. That is a variance of $349,000, and in talking with them, that is mostly weather related. You know, that affects the intermittent wages that we pay when the weather is bad, as well as concessions. We don't have the expenditures going out for concessions. And in this case, I'll also note that last year we had spent $8,187,000 through the end of June, but that number included the golf, which we have now pulled out into a separate fund, the two golf courses, the Cypress Ridge and the Lake Shawnee, and then it also included facilities maintenance. And then we have our debt service, which there's no change because we had no debt service payments this month, but we spent $1,138,000, which is what was budgeted. If you look, compare it to last year, we had spent $1,292,000, which is a variance of $153,000 that we have spent that much less this year, and that is from refunding of debt. Okay. Now here is a chart that just shows the different categories. In each category, it shows the year-to-date total, the budget, and the prior year. You can see this really shows how much more we spend on public safety than any other category. And then, of course, the next Next category would be Parks and Rec, and the lowest category for expenditure is debt service. This is just another chart that kind of shows the same thing, but in percentages. 44% of all of our expenditures were spent on public safety. Public health represents 14%. Administrative services is 13%. Public works is 9%. Parks and Rec is 17%. And debt service is only 3%. I would bring up that, when you look at our revenue and our expenditures, our revenue, we have brought in $86 million. Our expenditures, we have spent $43 million. But keep in mind that we receive our property taxes, our biggest distributions are in January and in June. So we have received the majority of our property taxes. We still have a half a year of expenditures left. So, just to bring to the public's attention why there is such a disparity between the revenue and the expenditures. And I will be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions regarding Director Reiner's report? Bob?
No, we're halfway through the year, and we're doing well financially, and it's encouraging. I know a lot of the estimates were a little conservative, which they should be, and that's why we're seeing good results now to some degree. So we're halfway through, and we're in good financial state. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Bueller, anything?
No.
Thank you, Betty.
Thanks, Betty.
I don't have any questions at this time. Next item.
Item D2, acknowledge receipt of the budget notice of budget hearing published in the Metro News for an August 3rd, 2015 public budget hearing.
I'll make a motion to acknowledge receipt of the notice.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook.
I would like a little bit of explanation
Sure.
from Betty, though,
Yeah,
because
sure.
what we publish and what our final budget
Yes.
looks
Absolutely.
looks
This
very
is-
different.
Is in no way what our final budget will be. This is basically the upper limit, the maximum it could be. This is if every department was granted their request. Each department sends in their budget requests. This is just a total of all of those requests. If every department was granted their total request, this is what the tax would be and the estimated tax rate on that. So we will have, and then after the public hearing, that is when you as commissioners start making adjustments to what the actual budget numbers will be.
And that public hearing occurring on August the 3rd at 5:30 in the Commission chambers.
Yes.
So,
Thank you.
Commissioner Bueller, anything
Yeah,
else?
anything else?
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve or acknowledge receipt of the notice in the Metro News. And I believe Commissioner Archer, you seconded that?
I'll second for a second time.
So all in favor say aye, all opposed, and that passes 3-0. Next item.
Item 5, administrative communications.
Are there any administrative communications this morning from any department heads or members of the public? Commissioner Bueller, anything?
It's quiet for a minute. I don't have anything in particular, just a busy weekend. I know the horseshoe tournament was in town and still is in town, I believe, yes. But then the Sunflower State Games were in full force as well. Lots of basketball games and lots of other events, so had a chance to attend a couple of those. Nothing else.
I agree. It's been a busy weekend. Commissioner Archer.
Yeah, there's some really positive things. The horseshoe, the worldwide horseshoe, Sunflower Games, the opening of the Evel Knievel, or the announcement of Evel Knievel at the Harley store, and also we had the good fortune to be able to attend the celebration at Mars on Thursday after the commission meeting, and that was very enlightening and uplifting for our community and to attend that. So that's all I had, Mr. Chair.
I will note that, I thought for sure when they made the announcement of the Evel Knievel Museum that you were going to roar in on a motorcycle or maybe try and jump the shotgun. So I was glad at least to see that you restrained yourself, Commissioner. And so, but it is a good announcement. It's just one more positive thing in our community to note. And I just kind of want to touch on and highlight Betty's report for just a moment. If we have gone from a delinquency rate of 2.54% to a delinquency rate of 1.41%, and we did not raise property taxes last year, it would seem to me that this could be an indicator of the health overall of Shawnee County. And if we look around, the decrease in delinquency rates, the ability to pay our property taxes, announcements with Mars, economic development, overall, Shawnee County seems to be doing a lot better than it had been in the past, and we're making the right steps towards a positive economic health in Shawnee County. And I would say that from Shawnee County Commission's perspective, that results in and comes from prudent budgeting, and I think I like that word better than conservative budgeting, but prudent budgeting, and just making sure that we are very careful with our expenditures. I might just close with just a note. I had the opportunity to send John Knight an email over the weekend. I was stopped by a constituent who impressed upon me the need to speak about Ward Mead right away. She had an issue with Ward Mead Park, and immediately my thoughts went to there was something wrong. Instead, she said that in 35 years of going to the Ward Mead Park in Old Prairie Town, she has never seen the park more beautiful, more cared for, and it has just blown her away. And as a professional horticulturist, she was blown away with the amount of detail and the work that goes into that park and that facility. And that, with our Parks and Rec merger, there has been a lot of skepticism over whether or not that was a good move or not. John, through you and your staff and working on things just like Ward Mead, you've been able to take these gems of Shawnee County and really take them to the next level. So keep up the good work.
Thank you, Commissioner.
So, I don't have anything else. Madam Clerk, our next item.
Item 6, executive session.
I do not see a need for an executive session today. We are adjourned.
We didn't set any records, by the way.
No, we beat it.
Yeah, stretched it out enough.
I don't know if that's a record we